Coming up on this episode of We're No Damn Experts, we're talking high-flying action. Flight over the falls is back. We'll break down what you can expect, what you should and should not bring to enjoy the impressive aerial stunts and more.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You wanna get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you wanna go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. Happy Friday, y'all. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
And I'm Shannon Newth.
And we're no damn experts.
It is Friday. Friday when we're recording it, Friday when it will come out.
I know, and
Happy
that's why I said it, because it's the first time I think ever we've gotten to record a podcast on Friday, which usually comes out on Friday. So I get to say Happy Friday, and it can be authentic and genuine.
Yes, we're not faking it right now.
No, we're not.
We're happy, though, that it's Friday, and we're ahead of schedule here with the podcast.
We are. We are finally getting back in our groove. We're getting everything set up. We're getting shows lined up. We're getting so organized. I found a project management system we're going to be working on. The Nerd Me's coming out. And so, and then we just keep rolling the guests in, which I love because there's less pressure on us to actually come up with quality content and accurate content.
People don't want to hear us talking about our kayaking misadventures anymore for an hour. Yeah. So with that note, we do have a guest with us today.
Who's here, Shannon?
We have Lieutenant Colonel Cody Smith. Hello, sir. Welcome to the podcast.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
And for all of you listening, he is in his BDUs? OCPs?
Yes.
What does BDU stand for?
I think that's an Army thing.
For those of us in the that were around in the 90s, that was the battle dress uniform. It's still the greatest uniform ever created.
There we go. And he is with the Montana Air National Guard.
Yes, he is. All right, Cody, Lieutenant Colonel Smith.
Cody's
Shannon
fine.
I just went right for the familiarization.
Yep, that's fine.
My
We
bad.
have no clue what's going on. Shannon's saluting everyone.
That's
I'm scared
funny.
to death. We're going to be great. This is fantastic for us civilians to be in a room with.
How do you feel making your presence here is just intimidating everybody?
Yeah. Scared
no,
to death.
usually
my wife,
happen?
as my wife will tell you, that's funny. So no, it's absolutely a pleasure to be here with the both of you. Both of you have been very important and influential in this community, and I appreciate very much what you guys do as far as raising awareness on what it is we do here in this town and why it's so great and what brings people here. So I am here for you today.
Awesome. Thank you. Same back at you. How long have you been in Great Falls?
We moved here in 2005, taking a job with the Montana National Guard back then, and have enjoyed every minute of it here since then.
That's awesome.
Where did you move from? Where have you been? I imagine you've been a few other places in your career.
The old adage of putting the stickers on the luggage. My luggage is no longer luggage; it's a big sticker.
It's one big sticker.
So,
okay.
so traveled a great deal. Been a pleasure as part of the joys of being in the Air Force and getting a chance to see the world and see our great country and serve different aspects of it. I transitioned here from Klamath Falls, Oregon. I worked with the 173rd Fighter Wing there. Enjoyed that very much for about 8 years. Prior to that, I was a reservist at Travis Air Force Base and got to fly on the venerable C-141. Those were, for those of you that remember that, it was a great airplane. And then was an aircraft mechanic at Hill Air Force Base back in the early 90s, served in Desert Storm.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, I've been around for a few minutes, 31 years next month.
Wow. Yep. Wow. Retirement knocking on the door anytime soon for you?
Every morning. Except this morning, because this
Especially
morning's
after
great.
this experience, yes. Yeah, you've been a PIO, a public affairs specialist with the Air Force as well.
Correct.
Over your career. Mm-hmm. Yes, we've been, so we were talking earlier, I think I've shared, my past life was in news. You worked with one of my former colleagues a lot, so we've run in the same circles. We're both revisiting our former life here.
Isn't that one of the big reasons why people join service, is to be able to travel and see the world and get excited about all the things that they can do?
Well, service comes in many layers, as we all see here. a lot of the community leaders service, military, everybody's synonymous with service. Our teachers, anybody who works in that community and provides that service to our community, makes our community better, does tend to gravitate towards, I think, what we do. So I think it's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And the more people that do it, I think it makes us better as a society. Oh. And it definitely is what makes this town great, because this is a service town.
It is, for sure. And we're going to be talking about Flight Over the Falls, the event coming up. Oh, but
so
I know I get super excited for this event as well. You're probably excited for it to be over, since you're
Absolutely
part of the planning process of
No,
it.
I wouldn't keep doing what I do for as long as I do if I didn't really enjoy airplanes and community.
So we are, like you were saying, Great Falls is a big service community. For people who are listening, let's distinguish here. So we have the Air National Guard, and we also have Malmstrom Air Force Base. Can you give a quick rundown for people of the differences and the roles they play in our community?
Absolutely. It's an interesting marriage between the Malmstrom Air Force Base and the Montana Air National Guard Base at the airport. It starts all the way back in World War II. There was East Base and there was West Base. So you had the bombers out at East Base. You had the fighters up at West Base. So that's how it started, and then we moved over to basically became the Air National Guard right after the end of World War II. And so then that becomes where we kind of diverged a little bit. But, every so often, at least in the last 15 years, we've kind of come back in closer and closer together with the affirmation of the total force. And everybody's an airman, and everybody's got a role to play. And so, it's a wonderful, wonderful relationship that we have with the 341st and the 819th between them and the Montana National Guard.
For those, so as we've already seen here, I'm going a little off track here. We'll get back to Flight Over the Falls.
I'm just here to watch.
That never happens with our podcast. So as we've already touched on, acronyms, things like that, big and military, you threw out some letters. Are there any basic ones that I should know, or if I'm going to be coming to Flight Over the Falls? Any acronyms, any letters that I should know as a civilian? Because there's so
that seems like a full catalog.
Many.
There are, and what's funny is my wife's an RN, and she in the medical
registered
field.
Nurse.
Yes, registered nurse. See,
We knew that one.
There's one. Hey, victory!
Yay.
No, but the medical field it lives on acronyms as well.
Yeah, they do.
The military lives on acronyms. The Air Force probably not quite nearly as much as maybe the Army or the Marine Corps, but we do have our acronym dictionary that seems to evolve, and I think we have some acronyms that have 5 or 6 different meanings depending upon who you're talking to and what your career field is.
That's helpful.
It's horrible. It's horrible. So I wish I could help you. But
you're on your own.
But no.
I'll just email you
Just
anytime
ask.
I have a question.
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
What are those
I'm
letters?
serious. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's okay. No, it's not that. It's
No more
this.
shop talk here.
Right.
Okay, for civilians, yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the other big thing to note between the difference of the two today, Montana Air Guard and Malmstrom Air Force Base, one has a flying mission and one does not.
Yes, both.
I beg to disagree with you on that one. So
See?
Malmstrom Air Force Base has the 40th Helicopter Squadron out there.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right.
They provide a very valuable mission,
fly.
and they do fly, and they are very, in fact, I really love it. They tend to fly up my coulee by my house every day, and I enjoy seeing them come by, just as I enjoy the C-130s flying over my house as they get their run on Charge and Charlie for their drop zone.
Is that sarcastic?
No, that's
Okay.
absolutely
No.
true. Nope.
The
Kids and I run out on the deck, and it's like I said, 31 years later, still love seeing the airplanes and the helicopters fly over my house. It's wonderful.
They fly over ours as well, and I get to hear from the Air Guard in the mornings and the evenings, the music, the sounds.
I think it just dawned on me, we kind of live
We
all
all
in
live
the same area.
I mean, it would make sense if we're all hearing.
I
these
knew
same
we were
things.
kind of close.
Similar, yeah.
But I'm like, you're
joining us too.
Yeah,
Yes.
all that there. My 2020, my friend had a baby during COVID, and as part of that, they were here in Great Falls having that baby, and their 3 other children stayed with us because they weren't allowed in the hospital. So my husband played Mr. Mom the entire time the kids were there, and his idea of showing them a good time was to go to the end of the runway at the airport and just wait for planes to take off.
It's a great babysitter.
Yeah.
Fabulous
And he
babysitter.
goes, no, it's really awesome. And I said, no, it is really awesome,
It
but
is.
you need to remember when they fly out so that you're not sitting there for 3.5 hours waiting for
true.
a plane.
It's not constant flow of
Yeah.
activity
Right.
at this one.
It's
No.
not that big of an airport.
No. Uh-uh.
No, when I was a kid, my grandfather would take me to Miramar Naval Air Station down in San Diego, and we would sit at the end of the runway and do exactly that and get
Wow.
me out of my parents' hair for about 4 hours.
Yeah. It is really awesome because
Mm-hmm.
we've done it. Just sat there and waited, and it's just a really cool thing. And then I'm going to say it because I'm getting too excited. Because of where we live, when the flight over the falls happens, those planes are nearly in my front
You
yard.
get your own private show with
Oh my
them.
gosh. The first year we went on Saturday, did the whole show from the runway, and then we went home and on Sunday got the show again.
Again, just a slightly different perspective.
And as those planes are coming to get into formation, they're flying, I don't know, a few inches from the ground. That's clearly an exaggeration.
it feels like it.
But it is close enough that you can wave from the front yard to the
Mm-hmm.
pilot, and they will wave back because they're that close. They can see
Wow.
you, and I don't know if they're not paying enough attention that they would see me. But
They're
yeah,
professionals.
It
They
was
can handle it.
so cool.
That is
so
really
cool.
neat.
It is going to be an extremely adventurous moment for those that have never been to one, and those that have been to several. They're all unique.
Oh,
And so the
Yeah.
performers, we worked very hard this time to gather a list of aircraft and performers that, cover a wide spectrum of aviation history, not only for the Air Force, but the Navy. We have World War II vintage aircraft that are going to be here. What we talk about our headliners, we talk about the Thunderbirds. We talk about Rhino F-18 demo team that's going to be here. Those are the shock and awe performers that we have out there. But we also have a P-51 Mustang coming in. That's going to do some aerial demonstrations. We have an A-26 bomber coming in that are going to come in and do some bombing and some strafing runs with pyro.
Wow.
That we're going to be
Oh.
blowing stuff up on the airfield, and it's just going to be just extraordinarily fun for this community to come and watch that. And if you're not at the show center at least one day that weekend, you're missing out
Yeah.
because there's nothing like all that is designed to come together right on crowd center, and it's going to be a truly unique opportunity. We got a crazy guy coming in by the name of Kent Peach, flies for Jelly Belly. He's going to land his airplane on top of an RV.
no.
An airplane?
An airplane.
Not a helicopter.
Not a helicopter.
An airplane.
An airplane.
How big of an RV are we talking?
We're talking like a Winnebago.
It doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
No, it
Shannon,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how big the RV
not
is.
that
Right.
difference.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But
Or are we talking like a tiny...
It could be an 80-foot RV. It's still ridiculous.
It's
It,
still,
it, it really is, and it's just a great community to work with. Everybody is absolutely fantastic. Everybody has got one thing in mind, and that is celebrating our community. That's the vision: is celebrating our military community and our heritage in this town in Great Falls for 75 years. It's pretty impressive.
Wow, that
Gosh,
is
that's a long time. This is not your first air show?
rodeo.
I like her term, but your term applies. Yes, show rodeo. It's not my first rodeo. No, I was involved in the 2017 one as well, and perfectly have been involved in some other shows around my tenure in the Air Force. But this is the first time as director. So this will be
No
the first time
pressure.
I'm putting it on together.
Yeah.
I had great mentors. Colonel Jeff Carlton, who retired this last year, was he was our lead from 2011 on, and he left a great turnover, and we talk a lot still. And as he has moved on to the next chapter in his life, and it's provided a lot of great foundation. So, and ICAS, the International Council of Air Shows, is
Another acronym.
wonderful. ICAS, I spelled it out
You
for
did.
you.
You
See,
did.
there
Thank
you go.
you.
See,
See, I'm
he
learning.
got
it.
it.
Yes.
He knew.
Yes, my wife would be so proud. I did pay attention. They're a wonderful group to work with, and without them, we couldn't get it done. So.
So you've got things that are going to be flying for the air show, for the flight over the falls. But you're also going to have things on the ground that people can crawl in and around and on top of.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically crawling activities.
Well, so for the young at heart, we're going to have a kid zone. So we're going to
Oh.
have about, I don't know, what is it, 150 by 150 of nothing but bouncy houses and
Oh.
crazy stuff.
So you can get the energy out
So
before
yes,
you go out.
yeah.
with the
So
planes.
I'm just hoping that some of my younger airmen, we can find them later and
Yeah.
put them back to work.
Put 'em back
in that
out of the
bouncy house.
houses,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, exactly. Or
you should
myself
just
too.
keep that set up all the time.
I know
maybe.
it'd be a great morale builder.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a kids zone. I'm really proud. We're gonna have our first ever STEM lab. We have worked with Starbase, which is a DoD funded program, Department of Defense funded program that is administered out of our Joint Force Headquarters in Helena on behalf of General Hronik. They have this program. They run it on the Army side and the air side, and our program is going to host this lab, and then we're going to have robotics. We're going to have aviation assets. We're going to have all kinds of things to kind of bring our community together, our generation, our younger generation, and kind of reaffirm that excitement about science, technology, engineering, math.
Well, and how
it
much
applies.
of that is still in the Air Force and Army and everything today? Because we had the distinct honor, and I think I've said this on the podcast a number of times, but since I've been doing this so long, who knows if I said it or not, but we hosted the Berlin Airlift Veterans Association here 6 years ago.
Okay.
And we were the training ground for the Berlin Airlift
Correct.
at Great Falls Air Base is what it was called at that time. So when we got to do the site tour and then the eventual reunion that they had, the contact I had was a World War II veteran who then trained for this mission. And we spent 2 days together, and he's telling me stories of how awkward it was to fight the Germans and then help the Germans. And then he talked about the planes and how different they were from when he flew them till they are today, because there was no technology. There was technology, but there wasn't as much technology, and you relied on so many other things to fly it. And how small they were compared
True.
to what they are today. And so it's those things that are, I'm going to say, relatively new, because it's only been within the
In the
last
scheme of history.
right.
Yes.
It's not that long ago to see technology advance like that, and then to have that component come in, which is really awesome.
It is. And again, we're going to have a wide range of aircraft here from probably World War II, pre-World War II, late 1930s technology will be probably the earliest end of our technology spectrum, all the way up to the F-35 and the KC-46, the leading edge technology aircraft that we have in our inventory.
Oh.
I want to go back. We never actually said what Flight Over the Falls is.
Well, that's probably par for the course.
Details.
For us.
So
Sure.
go back. We've talked about how there's lots of planes coming in, but let's do kind of basic logistics, because we haven't actually introduced what Flight Over the Falls is. So can you give us just an idea of what is Flight Over the Falls?
So Flight Over the Falls is a celebration of Montana military, Air Force, Army, aviation achievements that we've had over the last 75 years. So this is the 75th anniversary of the United States Air Force. It's the 75th anniversary of the Montana Air National Guard. So with those things coming to fruition, this year, that's kind of a big anniversary.
It's a huge one.
So we are bringing in, we're opening our doors to have folks come in that have served, that want to serve, that have family that have served, to come in and just kind of celebrate, and then our community, so they can kind of get better to know us on what it is we do, both here at Malmstrom Air Force Base, in the Montana Army National Guard. It's an important opportunity. COVID. We talked COVID earlier. Flight Over the Falls, really, when you boil it down, is an opportunity to get out as a community and celebrate.
Yeah.
And this is a unique opportunity because, for the most part, the public doesn't have free reign to go wander on.
Nor should they.
Or should they to Malmstrom or the base up by the airport. Yeah. So this is a unique opportunity if you have any wonderings about what's behind those gates.
Absolutely.
This is your chance to learn.
This is your chance. This is your chance to learn and get to see what it is, and maybe experience something you did not know or would like to know, or if we've got those, those young kids that are out there that I don't know what I want to do in life. Well, this gives them an opportunity to see, touch, hear.
Yep.
Well, and even beyond, because there are so many careers within the military, within the Guard, things like that you might not, when you're little or even as an adult,
Have any
idea or any concept of the different types of careers that are available within military branches.
Correct. Case in point, when I joined in 1991, I was an aircraft mechanic. I got to go, go to Desert Storm. I got to go do a bunch of really neat things as a crew chief, as an aircraft mechanic. And then I got to go work on bigger airplanes, and I got to go fly over on the Pacific Rim and go see places like Johnston Atoll, Kwajalein, Guam, as a young 20-something-year-old airman. Came back, I got an opportunity to become, a different me, reinvent myself. And then I got a chance to come here and really explore where I could do, and I've been a PIO. And I've worked international relations with our state partnership program in Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, wow.
And so I got to go to Bishkek and spend time there. I got to ride horses in the Himalayas. I got to work as a security forces commander. I got to work as a logistics commander. I got to be a base commander in Africa. The sky's the limit on what you can do. It's not just about going to basic training, learning a job, and do that the rest of your life. It is wide open to whatever it is you want to choose to do, and the opportunities are endless. Now I'm a director of an open house air show that's going to have we're hoping somewhere between 80 and 100,000 people show up.
Wow.
And that's no understatement, people. If you're listening to this, well, obviously you're listening to this. There's a ton of people out there.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel, let me clarify, it does not feel like you're amidst
No, it doesn't.
100,000 people. You're going to notice there's a lot of folks, but the way that open house in the past, I'm talking from experience, it's probably going to be the same this time. It's a long area. It's a big area in which you cram these people into, and there's not a time when you're just shoulder to shoulder the entire time. So that's really kind of a nice way to get everybody out and not have it feel claustrophobic. And the reason I say that is because we are a town of 60,000 people.
So this is more than doubling the
more,
amount.
and it's a big draw. I mean,
It
we've been promoting it on our paid media channels, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, already have our rooms. Got our rooms a month ago." Like, people call continually.
Correct.
When are you going to have a air show or an open house? Because there's just a lot of veterans, military, people who respect the military, and people are just interested in really cool things, wanting to be a part of this.
Yeah, and living in this community for a while too, we've transitioned between different types of aircraft that we've seen, from the jets to the C-130s. But that's part of people's memory. It's part of their nostalgia of being here. Is I remember looking up and seeing, the it was 15s, correct? That we had the F-15s fly over. Now watching, and I know where we live, feeling the occasional C-130 fly over. It's just part of the feel of this community, and people get so attached to seeing or feeling, hearing all these different aircraft.
It's like those symbols of freedom beyond the flag that are just hanging around in Great Falls.
It's so true. Yeah.
And there's a sign as you drive up to the airport there, as you're going up towards the terminal, you'll see the sign that says, "Welcome to the Montana, your Montana Air National Guard." And it lists all our patches and all the airframes that we have flown in the last 75 years. And there's the real sticking point on it is it's yours, because it is the community's Air National Guard. And just like the Malmstrom Air Force Base is your Malmstrom Air Force Base. I mean, we're a part of this community. So it is a privilege to be able to do that. But going back to what you said before, 100,000 people. Everybody's like, wow, that's a lot of people. Do I want to spend that much time with my neighbor or my neighbor's neighbors and my crazy Uncle Larry or whatever? But I will tell you this, our ramp has doubled in size. We have twice the concrete ramp space than we did in 2017.
Holy moly.
So there's a huge opportunity to spread out.
More accommodating.
We've got some really neat
I
aircraft.
won't even have to see my husband.
No, bye.
There's that. But we got wing shade. We've got seating. If you go out to our website, there's a concessionaire. We worked really hard and partner with Air Show Networks to bring in, a good seating opportunity so people can get into shade. They can have an opportunity to, get a cold drink and sit down and get up and go walk and look at airplanes, but have their seat when they come back. And so, we worked really hard to try to make it as comfortable, family-friendly as we possibly could. So there's a lot of effort that's gone into that, and with lessons learned from 2017. But I will say the one thing I really wish we could have fixed that we have no control over, and that is going to be traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, because we sat a long time in traffic, it's so worth it.
It is.
Traffic at the end of the show is going to be problematic. It is.
But at that point, you've seen all the cool
Yep.
things. You can just
relax, be
Yeah.
patient, talk about how cool it was. It's going to take you some time to get out of the area. And I'm going to say it. I might be wrong because I have been a number of times. You may feel like it's a good idea to park somewhere else and walk in. And I would say in general, that's just not a great idea just because of how much traffic there will be and the area in which the Montana Air Guard is at.
Correct.
You've got interstate traffic. You've got truck traffic between. The shoulders
International
really
airport.
are not that huge. It's not designed to be a walking area. So please just park, be patient, and
Neither
enjoy
one
it.
of us should walk from our houses.
I've considered it,
I mean, I would consider it too.
but I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I'm not usually the voice of reason. So take that into consideration.
So really take this one to heart.
Yeah. We're working with some of our community partners. We are trying to emphasize, if you want to do a park and ride, I'd encourage park and rides.
Yeah.
If,
ride would
our
be fine.
churches in town are some of our bigger organizations. The Iceplex up there, they're working on a park and ride concept.
Oh, good.
So you can park at the
Good.
Iceplex and get a shuttle over. They're working that aspect of it. Hopefully we'll have that full up here in the next couple of days. We would highly encourage that. If our folks that are out-of-town guests that are coming here to enjoy our hotels, if the hotels want to shuttle up and drop off there, we have a drop-off point for them.
Yeah.
So, we try to ease some of that traffic footprint as much as possible. And we're going to expand our parking hours. Folks are going to be able to park as early as 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
So
They
we'll
can
have some
come.
coffee, hopefully, for them out there and Danishes, and they can sit and wait, and then we'll open the gates at 9, and folks can walk out and take a look at a static.
Nice.
Perfect.
Sounds like you've worked out some of those details.
Some of them.
Yeah. I can only imagine the amount of logistics and things that you're having to think about and arrange because this is on a base. You're dealing with public. You're dealing with a lot of different military personnel, a
Yes.
lot of different aircraft.
A commercial airport runway.
Yes. How do you manage? How do you manage all of that?
Good question.
Is that your years of
Carefully.
experience?
I'm giving you a blank look right now
Carefully.
because I don't think I figured it out yet. It's great people. I am blessed. We talk about, somebody brought up earlier, are you with Malmstrom? Are you with Mang? I said, I'm with the Guard, but however, I am so blessed with my partners out at Malmstrom Air Force Base in the 341st Missile Wing and the 819th Red Horse, the 219th Red Horse. They have been my savior, my lifeline, because we're very shorthanded. We have our aviation package that's deployed currently, so we got a good chunk of our population that's not even here right now. So our resources to pull from have been stretched. So I couldn't do this without my team, primarily. From Major Langdon and Major O'Neill out at Malmstrom Air Force Base, Cammie Maloney and the FSS, Donna Whitmore going out and pressing the public for sponsorships, and we've had some great turnout on sponsors. Community is what's made it work. From the commissioners all the way up to the airport authority, they've been absolutely fantastic partners, and it really does take a community to make it happen. And this has made it super effective. I won't say it's been easy, but it's been super effective. But it's been
At the
effective.
end of the day, effective is maybe more important
Yeah.
than easy.
It is.
Yeah. So how many days total is Flight Over the Falls?
So Flight Over the Falls, you will hear airplanes rattling your windows in town starting Thursday.
Okay.
So keep your eyes to the skies.
Thursday, July
July
20.
21st.
Okay.
Okay, so July 21st, starting sometime, hopefully after 9, you will start to hear airplanes arrive around from all over the place. We have the F-15s coming in, F-16s, we have A-10s, KC-135, KC-46, F-35s, Thunderbirds, F-18s.
So that's one of the
Crazy,
things
crazy.
you don't. It dawned on me right now as you were saying that. Yeah, they all have to show up here at some point, whether they're
Yes.
flying or not. If they're just going to sit on the ground,
They've gotta get
they gotta
here.
Show
They
up
got to
somehow.
get here.
Yeah. So it's a pre-show. It's the matinee to
It's-
the big performance.
It is. It's the matinee to the performance. And I would expect for the majority of Thursday, you are going to see a lot of really fun stuff in the air around Great Falls. Maybe possibly a couple of low levels coming into Great Falls up the Missouri River from some of our more, shall we say, robust and exciting fighter aircraft. Doing some low level up the Missouri.
I'm excited to
'cause
see some jets back too.
This
the
can be
F-15.
a training opportunity as they fly into Great Falls, even though it's just for fun.
So fun is a loose term, but yes, I mean, obviously you would, we really aspire to whatever we do. We hope it's fun. Like today, this is fun. Yes. So the Hayes MOA in the ACA is a national resource, and it goes from here all the way out and over to the Powder River Range, which runs all the way over to North Dakota. So there will be some aviation assets flying around the MOA. Doing some training and some orientation. We still have one of the largest airspaces in the world, and so whenever folks come up, whether it's the KC-46, they've got some sensors stuff they're going to work. They're going to go up and fly that. They're going to take the opportunity of the airspace. The F-35s are going to take opportunities of the airspace. So that's a great thing to be able to dust off that national asset and use it. So yeah, it'll be good for them.
We also have this little thing called strong wind. That's always
baloney.
It's often
the flag
our
wasn't
friend.
even flying today.
No, I know. We've been knock on all the wood. It hasn't been bad. I mean, we've gotten some storms moving in, but we also it's maybe a good training space for dealing with wind, and obviously that's a factor over the course of the days they're here too is dealing with the wind.
All I'm going to say is bite your tongue, Shannon.
Yeah.
Don't you even bring it up.
I know. I said the W word.
The W word.
The forbidden W word.
It's an exercise in preparedness. So you talked
Yes.
about logistics. So the wind is a constant. So in 2017, we had tents get flipped upside down as we were setting up on Friday. In 2011, we had a microburst come through, and I'm really surprised we didn't lose airplanes on that one.
Yeah.
I think we had 80 some odd mile an hour gusts
Oh.
at that point.
Boy.
So yes, it can happen. And everybody saw that beautiful display yesterday, of the thunderstorm over town that just seemed to last forever.
We're
We
getting
got
rain.
nothing.
That's good. Oh, really? There are places in
We
town
got
that got
nothing.
hail damage.
I saw that,
Yeah.
and we watched that storm roll in, and it was gorgeous, and it created a beautiful sunset.
It did.
We got a couple dribbles of water out of those clouds.
Yeah.
And that's just really it follows that river, which is right down below
And
me.
it kind of, my meteorologist husband was watching the radar,
Yeah,
and it kind of
splits.
split around.
Where that splits, my house is right in the middle of that
That
split.
split. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Every
working on a cone of silence. So and it's going to be around the airport. So the goal is good weather. Right now, looking out long range, it looks good. It looks nice. Mid 80s.
Perfect.
Mid-80s.
It's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to still be a great time.
But we
It's
did
just-
shift our timing to the left. So everybody will notice the start time's at 11 this year instead of 12.
Okay.
So we're done at 3:30.
Okay.
Oh,
So
that's a good
those
idea.
potential
So-
afternoon.
So we
pickup
missed the
storms.
majority, those 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock thunderstorms like the last week we've had. We're
Yeah.
hoping that we missed that.
I will say, in favor of the storms and things, we've gotten more rain consistently.
Yes.
So we're not having to deal with the visibility will be good because we're not dealing with the smoke, things like
Oh,
that.
that is true.
It's clear, it's greener this
Yep.
year. So that there's a good thing for those storms. Yeah.
So the open house from 11 to 3:30 on July 23, 24, which is a Saturday and a Sunday, the same time both days.
Same time both days. But the ramp will stay open until 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So we talk about trying to alleviate the big push once the last act lands. So we're going to offer opportunities on the ground. There's still going to be in the kids zone, still going to be there. We're going to have some awards ceremonies, some re-enlistment ceremonies, enlistment ceremonies with the Thunderbirds going on. So there's going to be stuff for folks to do and see. And I would encourage, if you don't have a place to be rapidly, hang out.
yeah.
We're gonna have stuff for folks to do and to see, and kind of folks can gauge that departure on how they want to get out of here.
Because there's still a lot of things to be able to see on the ground. It's not like the planes that aren't performing are just going to take off and be gone. So you'll still have time to walk around and see some of those. Last time there was a tank that was there. Is there going to be a tank again?
So we're bringing a Bradley, an M2 Bradley, up
Okay.
instead of an M1 Abrams. I'm pretty sure when they brought the Abrams up last time, we might have broke the overpass. It's like
Sorry, that's
74
not funny.
tons.
Oh.
Wow.
So getting it here is a hot mess.
Yeah.
So the Brad.
So it's trucked in. It's not flown in.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, we truck it in.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
They wanted to drive it across town. I'm like,
Well,
no,
I knew it
don't
didn't
think
road
so.
in.
No, they wanted to road it in, and I'm like,
Wow.
no. I'm thinking we're gonna pass on that, but thank you.
Great
That would have
idea.
been quite the display itself. Yeah. Down 10th Ave South.
Yeah, like I said, don't want to break the overpass.
Yeah.
It's just not okay. So what we're doing is we're going to truck in a Bradley. They're going to have a couple of tactical vehicles they're going to bring in as well. They have an up-armored, what's called a MAT V, that's going to come in, which is a new 21st century modern armored fighting vehicle, which is going to be neat.
Wow.
They'll roll that out. The Army National Guard is. So they'll have some neat assets here. They'll have all 3 of their helicopters here and their C-12. So the Army Guard will be very well represented. So we're excited to have them on board. Will.
What's a Bradley?
A Bradley is it looks like a tank, but
Okay.
instead of a cannon, it has a heavy machine gun on it, and it's designed for troop infantry support.
Okay.
So it is armored. It's armored cav. So and I'm probably getting half of this wrong. So my Army Guard friends are probably going to beat me later.
Uh-oh.
Hey, he's
So I'll
not
have
an
to-
expert on the
I'll have
Army.
to pay a penance.
Yeah,
I
this
have
is
to
true.
pay a penance.
That's fine.
But that's okay. At least I'm getting it somewhat close. Don't break the overpass, guys. So yeah.
Okay. And then there'll be planes on display that don't fly, and then there'll
Correct.
be planes that fly. Now, the Thunderbirds, were they the same? Are we getting the Thunderbirds? Did I say that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Did we have the Thunderbirds in 2017?
Yes.
Do we always have the Thunderbirds?
We've had them consistently up to this point, yes.
Okay.
Are the Golden Knights coming back?
Oh,
No, unfortunately, we went a different direction this year just because of scheduling and timing. We do have a jump team. It's this SOCOM Special Operations Command paracommandos that are coming in, and they're all extremely experienced 10-year jumpers out of the Special Operations United States Special Operations Command Force, based out of MacDill, Florida, and they are going to do our flag opening ceremonies.
Oh, neat.
So there'll be a two-person jump. They'll have a giant American flag and a POW MIA flag. And then they're going to do a formation jump in the middle of the show each day as well.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
really excited for them.
That's so cool.
But you would be amazed how much paperwork it requires for people to jump out of an airplane.
no, I think there
that
should be
makes
a lot of
sense.
paperwork
Yeah.
to jump out of a plane.
Yeah. I got to, in 2017, when I was with KRTV, got to go up with the Golden Knights
Sure.
On one of the days to cover and do a news story. I've told this story before just a few podcast episodes ago. I got to go up with them twice in one day. We didn't jump. I wouldn't have jumped anyway, but I mean, I would have,
Thank
but
God.
that wasn't an option for me. Wind. Yeah. So it was too windy for them to jump. However,
Yes.
it was still an incredible experience. I
Yes.
got to sit right next to the open door,
Yes.
or I guess there's not even a door, just the opening
Yeah.
on the side of the plane.
Yes.
That was, so my dad was a private pilot. I've shared this. So I've been up in small planes a lot. I never have faced sideways next to a large opening during
Sure.
takeoff.
Right.
That was a surreal experience. So weird, but so cool. I'm so grateful I got to do that. That was
good.
such an incredible
I
experience.
can't imagine anything more nerve-wracking for me personally.
I did. I
Than
checked.
this.
I checked the seat belts multiple
Oh.
times. I made sure my camera and stuff was strapped to me there. Nothing's flying out of that opening there. But it was just an incredible experience and so cool to see the Golden Knights and those who jump and just the ease in which they jump out of a plane.
My biggest question, though, is for Cody, being an aircraft enthusiast as you are, have you ever had a desire to jump out of a perfectly good plane?
No.
Yeah, thank you.
This was always so. I've always wanted to go skydiving, and my dad, again, being the excellent pilot he was, always said, "Why would you want to jump out of a perfectly good plane? The pilot's not jumping. The plane will be fine."
Yeah, and see, that's a product of good conditioning and good training. So, as a young 19, 20-year-old airman, they drilled into my head that nobody wants to have anybody leave an airplane. So fix it correctly.
Right.
Follow the technical order. Do it right. So, yeah, that's just good training.
So speaking of going up, I got to go on that flight as a member of the media. Are there opportunities for people for the right price to fly in some of these
that's
planes?
a good question.
Well, that's putting me under the gun.
No.
Is that part of the air show? I
Short
should say?
answer is no.
Okay.
For the community now, we are doing, because of it's a 75th anniversary. We do have certain things lined up for our 12 Outstanding Airmen of the Year candidates. So we have 4 airmen, 2 from the Montana National Guard and 2 from the United States Air Force out of Malmstrom, that are going to be able to go up in a performer aircraft.
Oh,
Oh.
neat.
And
That's
so
gonna
it's
be
a
a nice
unique
experience.
opportunity for familiarization ride to celebrate and reward their accomplishments. And we are working with the paracommandos for tandem jumps as well.
Ooh, wow.
So that not firmed up yet, but that is out there. As far as the community goes, we have one community member who is going to get a chance to go up in the back seat of Thunderbird 8.
Wow. Ooh, the suspense there.
Yes, and so that announcement will be coming out here shortly once we have all the approvals and head nods north and south, and so we'll be making that aware to the public. So, but yes, but there will be an opportunity for one of our community leaders to get a chance to go up and do that.
I'm going to let you know it's not me. I'm not that big of a
man.
community leader. And I think I would know if I was already on that list.
But I'm going to
Probably.
shamelessly plug an event in August
There
since
we
you
go.
brought it up.
Okay.
We do have our boss lift coming up.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
And so that is, yes, exactly. So we'll talk after the podcast.
We will talk. Yes.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
So
Yeah.
there'll be a C-130 flight. The Army Guard does it as well, and that they take folks up, they take employers and community leaders up in their CH-47 Chinooks as well.
So our friend of the fam, the owner of Broadwater Coffee, Heather Kuntz, was just up in something. She flew.
That was the Army Guard.
There we go.
Okay.
And
Yes.
the picture she posted, which I think you would dig, and I just didn't breathe for about 5 minutes while I watched it. She sits like on the edge of something with her like leg dangling over the edge.
Oh.
Oh, the back ramp. Yeah, they probably had her restrained in.
Yeah.
Wow.
It
While they're
was-
flying?
Yeah, she was
So it's like a
on
tailgate,
the edge.
tailgate of the
Yeah,
plane.
It's kind of like
like she was
tailgating,
strapped
yes.
into the tailgate.
That's what
Okay.
it looked like, and she's just happy and excited, and I'm like, I would be bawling. I would be puking and bawling the entire time. So clearly, I'm not the target market for that, even though we would love that.
Maybe you are the target market.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to you. Another sponsored athlete from Visit Great Falls will be Shannon.
We've discussed on most podcasts. Rebecca volunteers me for something. The last couple things I've been
bad.
glad you volunteered me for. Yeah. Have you gotten to fly in a Thunderbird or gone tailgating 30,000 feet up?
So I've never flown in a Thunderbird aircraft.
Okay.
However, when I was a young airman in the 90s, I did crew a 2-seat F-16. I was a crew chief for it, and I did fly in my airplane several times.
Wow.
So I did get a chance to fly in an F-16.
Did you pass out?
No, but I did, expect the inner contents of my lunch
I've
repetitively.
seen
visible.
videos, and when past media members have gotten to go, because
Yeah.
in the past, if you have gotten to go, that's one of the things they warn you. I haven't gotten to go, but some others have said, like, they warn you, you very well could just pass out. And there's like GoPro video of it.
Oh, yeah.
You just see someone just knock out and then come to
Yep.
all of a sudden, like, what just happened?
No, it didn't pass out.
Okay.
Thankfully, but no, it was truly a lifetime experience. Several times with that, and yes, I have flown on obviously our C-130s and our Army Guard CH-47s as well. Flown in numerous airplanes over the course of my career, going from point A to point B. The Pacific Rim runs back in the mid '90s, doing that in a C-141 or C-5, C-17s, obviously those that are designed for carrying people. And that's pretty much kind of where it's at. I mean, I love airplanes, love to fix airplanes, be around them. They're great. I'm at a point now in my world where I'm like, I'm good. I'm just going to let, it's all about getting my airmen
Yeah,
and
those
and those
experiences.
people that experience, because, that's what things that you look back on. Once you've had check mark done, boxes filled, let's get somebody else that box filled.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a plane, you're a mechanic, correct, for years and years. Is there a plane that you liked working best
Ooh,
on
your
or
favorite plane.
proved the most challenging for you?
So as a young airman, my first tour at Hill Air Force Base, I showed up and they said, don't unpack, you're going to Saudi Arabia. I said, okay. So
Oh,
I
perfect.
said, great.
Sounds
Sounds
fun.
good. Hey, I'm ready to go. I'm your guy. Single, 20, easy.
Yeah.
Went over there and they said, hey, you're going to work transient alert. I said, oh, what's that? If an airplane comes in, not assigned to us, you're going to catch it and you're going to service it and you're going to get it out of here. Well, we had an F4 come in.
No big deal.
F4 was, think of a Pontiac GTO concept. You put put enough horsepower behind a brick, it flies.
Okay.
And so they have a unique thing, and the F4 folks that are listening in that remember this, when they had the engines go bad or they had to pull the engines out, you had to inspect where the engines seat, called an engine bay. And it takes 12 hours consistent to go from the back end of the engine bay to the front end of the engine bay to complete your inspection.
Wow.
Oh
That's
my
that's
gosh.
comparable to like a surgeon that's in there doing brain surgery, this marathon.
It was nuts.
Intense.
And it
Wow.
was about 118 degrees on
Oh
the ramp.
my
It was
gosh.
miserable.
Oh.
And I went in at about 8:00 in the morning, and I came out at about 8:30 at night, and I think I lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just pure
So
water weight.
yeah, just pure water. It was crazy, but
You can't drink enough water when
No.
it's that hot.
Oh
well,
my
and then the other
gosh.
part of the problem too is it's kind of like a chimney sweep.
yeah.
You went in with a nice, clean, sharp uniform, and you come back out, and you are covered in hydraulic fluid and grease, but it was, I'll be honest with you though, it was all of it was a great experience. And 3 days later, that airplane took off and flew home. So,
And nice to see your work pay off there.
Absolutely.
Successfully flies away.
Absolutely. So, those of us that like to see an end result from the work that we do, that was positive. But a lot of different experiences, and to me, it's all about the experiences. And for the folks coming, to the air show, to the open house, Flight Over the Falls, it is going to be one of those experiences that, you're talking about. Hey, 2017, it was this. 2011, it was this.
Yeah.
Folks are going to be talking about this all over the place.
Well, and my niece, I told her that the air show was coming, and I gave her the opportunity. Do you want to come down for it? And I said, it'll be up to you if you want to invite your family to come. She's like, I already know I don't want to invite my family. And I'm like, you're a little stingy with the fun there, pal. But she's got something else going on where she can't come down this year. But the entire time after the 2017 show, she told everyone about the big plane that cooked or baked cookies while it was in flight.
Oh,
There was, there's a
Ours
big-
do that.
I didn't.
We
know
have
about
an
that.
oven. We have an oven on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
So
Wow.
she walks in and the
I thought it was one of the like egg on the sidewalk kind of
Nope.
cook situations.
Nope,
There's an actual oven. Oh, okay.
And she told everyone about it. She's like, there's a plane where they bake cookies in it.
That was the coolest part.
Think back to your childhood. Think Easy Bake
Easy
Oven.
bake
Yeah.
oven.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
So
the
when
case
she
of the
walks-
thing.
So there's a pink Easy Bake oven inside these things.
So she
don't know about
walks
pink,
into the
but-
plane and the pilots are in there and they're talking to her about what this plane does and all the things. And then they point out the oven that they bake cookies in it. She's like, that's the coolest thing in the world.
I mean, that is a pretty cool, fun fact.
Yeah.
I
It
didn't
is
know
a,
that.
It is a cool fun
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
And because the trips they go on, the missions they go on are long. Some of those missions, 8, 9, 10 hours. You know how long it takes to get to the Mideast in a C-130?
Probably quite a
A
while.
long time.
It's like 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
So having been a part of this for as long as you have,
Mm-hmm.
not just the air show, but air aviation stuff in general, what are you most looking forward to at Flight Over the Falls?
Oh, that is an excellent question. I don't know if I've allowed myself the opportunity to even
Yeah.
ponder that as we were at that point. So what I would say is I think the arrival.
Yeah.
I think
the matinee.
I think Thursday the arrivals, because just the variety of airplanes in the air over our town and doing just they're going to get 5-7 minutes of pattern work and you're going to get to see them in flight and that is going to be absolutely fantastic, and we've got folks coming in that used to be unit members that are now leadership roles in other wings in other states. We've got folks that are Montana born and bred that are flying F-35s up here to bring them from Hill Air Force Base.
Wow.
We got a lieutenant colonel from Helena. We got a captain coming for this from Bozeman. It's
almost
it's like a homecoming.
Oh,
Old
reunion.
Home Week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the part that is so fabulous. And when I was reaching out to all these units to provide their aircraft and their weapons systems, it's like, hey, if you got Montanans, please have them come and bring those with us because we'd like to bring them home and say thank you.
Yeah.
And that has been so well received. It's not across the board, but I would say a vast majority are going to be that way.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really neat to be able to bring those folks home and reunite them with their families here and see that. So, yeah, that reunion on Thursday on arrival day, I think, is what I'm truly looking forward to.
Yeah, that's
So,
exciting. A lot of anticipation,
Yeah.
obviously, in time and build up to that, and that'll be a great reward
Yeah,
to see all those.
Friday,
planes come
Saturday,
in.
and Sundays got to go according to a script, and then that adds stress to the situation.
Sure.
So, no, Thursday's good because that's just open.
Shannon's just disappointed all the way around because she doesn't get to go up in a plane this year.
It's okay. It'll still be neat. Yeah.
Like I said, we'll talk later.
Yes.
I'm super stoked about it. And I even have friends finally who are like, oh, we're interested in this event. I'm like, how many years does it take me bragging about this thing for you to finally be
get here.
interested?
Yeah. So I do want to ask, so say somebody's coming up for Saturday or Sunday. They want to come up. They get their place to park. Normally, when you go on the airbase or when I've been on, you need your track record, you need your credentials, you need all. So what do I need to bring and what can I not bring with me to show up at the base?
She always asks this question. It's a really good one.
It is actually. I really appreciate it because I'm looking at this piece of paper right here, and in bold, I've got talking points. So,
talking point.
Thank you for that. So, it is always, you put national security on the line here. You put personal security on the line, and you see all the crazy things in the news these days.
Yeah.
You heard about the incident on the 4th of July, the scare that we had downtown. And so all that goes into consideration with our intelligence gathering and our partnerships with law enforcement and what is the right mix. So there's two accesses to get to the show. One will be by invite, and that's where we park on base. And that'll be, you'll know if you got an invite.
Okay.
So if you got an invite, great.
We did that.
Then because we will ask you for certain bits of information.
Sure.
Okay. So media, you'll get will be an invite. Certain retirees will be getting an invite. Things like that. Family members, general public will access through the parking area past interstate or I-state trucking on the way past CCSOs, Cascade County Sheriff's Office, the jail. So that is the main thing there. So the things to not bring. Okay, it is federal property. Montana, God bless us all, is a concealed carry state. It's an open carry state. Montans love their guns. We've talked about that already.
Right.
Yes.
We love guns.
We love guns. But please don't bring it in your car.
Don't bring it on your person.
I mean, absolutely, you have the right to carry, but it's federal property.
Think of it as you're going to the airport.
Yeah, you're going to the airport, and that's why TSA doesn't let you take it on an airplane. So, and that's the only thing we can do is our hands are tied to the federal rules that we have to follow because the parking area is going to be on our property.
Sure. Yeah.
So we ask that you not bring firearms. Number one. Okay. Two. Let's talk marijuana. So that is an issue right now because that is a state approved,
that's
legal,
and a city approved, and it is legal in the state.
And that's something new you have to deal with this round.
Federally, it is not legal.
Nope, it is still a controlled substance.
It is still a controlled substance federally. Yeah, love that. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it is not really the issue. The issue is it is federal property, and we have to enforce that. And we are required to. We can't get around it.
No guns, no weed.
Yep. Pretty much. I know, it's already starting to be a downer.
Good thing this is at the end of the podcast.
Exactly. So, you can edit this out.
We should have done this at the beginning, though.
But the biggest thing to think of is we've taken feedback into consideration. Nursing mothers, please feel free to bring a small cooler with breast milk, with formula if you can find it.
Yeah.
Water will be readily available. We have water stations out there. You'll be able to bring a water bottle, bring a reusable water bottle. There will be opportunities to fill it up there. If you're a diabetic, medications, you have to keep cool. So we're allowing small coolers in. Now, everything obviously is subject to search. So vehicles, as of right now, are subject to search when they come into the parking area because of the gun and the weed thing. So that is an issue. So we will be conducting random vehicle searches at this point as they've come into the parking area. So please, please, please don't be mad at my guys. They're doing what they're told to do.
This is the process.
Just the reality of where we are. It's like TSA
it's good
lines.
There are things in place because we're talking about the military here.
Well, and we're talking about crowd safety.
Yes.
When you start talking about the number of people that are going to be here, we want everybody to have a safe and enjoyable time and not have to worry as much about it. We've got great partners with Cascade County Sheriff's Office, Great Falls PD, the Marshals Service, Office of Special Investigations at Malmstrom. I'm probably forgetting half a dozen other agencies that we are working with, the FBI. All those are fantastic law enforcement partners, and they're giving us the best and latest intelligence and information and threat assessments. But it's going to be a hot day.
Yep.
It's going to be, people are going to be dehydrated. That's why we don't want things to escalate. And so we want everybody to understand their safety is our number one focus into the parking area, onto the ramp, and back out again.
And more importantly, this is your cost of entry. There's no paid fee to do this. So be a decent human and allow searches to happen if that's the case and follow the rules. It's just that simple.
Right. This is obviously on U.S. soil. This is a U.S. military base. Our friends from Canada, is it a U.S. citizen only event? Okay. You just have to have ID?
Nope.
No ID.
Okay.
Nope. ID to get on the main part of the base. If you're a guest, if you're an
Sure.
invited guest, then we're going to ask for your driver's license and
But that's a separate thing.
and
for
get you
our
and get you
general-
a pass. So,
Okay.
but as far as general admission, no IDs.
Okay.
No.
They'll wand you to make sure you're not carrying brass knuckles and
Sure.
lethal weapons of any kind or anything along those lines. They'll search your large bags and search your coolers, and they'll tell you if you got a big cooler. If you're packing a Yeti 110, please take it back to your car.
Yeah.
It'll still be cold. That's the great
Yeah,
part about it, though. When
right.
you get there.
Number one, you don't want to carry that
No,
thing
that's
all day.
that's a heavy cooler.
No,
Doubles as a seat.
but I will share a trade secret. We're going to have buses running in the parking area, so they're going to be doing the NASCAR lap. Doing
Well.
the continuous left turn around there,
Yep,
bringing
yep.
folks to the security area and back out to their cars. So we're going to have that. And then we're going to have buses picking folks up on the other side of the security screening area. And then that's going to be available to take you out to the ramp itself. So you don't have to walk across Gopher Field. That's an issue. So that's all feedback from 17 we took
Okay.
to heart. We're going to minimize that so we're not having folks that are tired and thirsty and sun beat down to twist and roll their ankles on the way out.
Yeah.
So that's, a lot of that is the stuff that we've taken in. We've tried to make adjustments the best we could where that feedback was given. Unfortunately, we still have the same traffic infrastructure.
Sure.
And I know folks are working hard at that to fix that in the long term, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
We talked about coolers. You talked about reusable water bottles, medication in coolers. Can I bring my beer?
No.
Okay.
Can I bring
Didn't
my
think
dog?
So.
However-
Can I- in my cooler.
However, there is going to be beverages for sale there.
Okay.
So we have vendors.
Oh.
And we have a special brew that the folks out of Havre have brewed for us. It's called Mustang 515, and it is I believe it is a strawberry. It's a light blonde ale, and it is in commemorative cans with a P51 Mustang on
We're
it.
speaking Rebecca's language
Yes,
right now.
and so it is light and refreshing. So
Perfect for an air
perfect
show.
for an air show. So, and there'll be the other stuff provided by our Gusto and Eagle Beverage up there as well, plus sodas and waters and
Food?
I
Okay.
mean, the concessionaire went all in. You got gyros, you got Philly cheesesteaks.
Ooh.
Oh.
All the
The whole
goodies.
gamut
I mean,
there.
it's almost like the fair threw up on the airfield a week early. It's great,
Perfect.
We're really looking forward to that. So the quality of the food is going to be outstanding. So we're going to have some local food trucks as well. So we're really excited
Great.
for that. We're able to incorporate some of our local food trucks in there, and so I think everybody who comes should have anything they would want.
Plenty of options.
And ice cream. There's ice cream.
Ooh.
Cody,
I like that part
what
too.
brewery in Havre?
Is that Triple Dog?
Vizsla? Okay, never mind.
I don't
We'll
have
just
it.
edit that part out.
Our
Yeah, I
friends
know.
on the High Line
The
are
friends on the
bringing
High Line.
some beer. Yes.
It really does not matter. All the
No,
breweries
they're
in
all
Havre
excellent.
are
Yes, they
good,
are. It's a
so.
true story.
Yeah, and so it's not a knock on any of the breweries here in Great Falls. Fantastic breweries in Great Falls. They had the capacity. They had the they had the ability.
Time and
they were
capacity.
they were in between kind of some things, and they were. This was something.
This is a big project.
It is a big project, and so and the quantity. I mean, you're talking about producing beer for 2 days for actually 3 days,
100,000 people,
right?
potentially.
And some of us might not just drink one.
Maybe everyone at this table. Yeah.
So, we're really excited for that. But we will also be showing off. We'll also be providing some local Great Falls brews as
That's
well.
awesome.
So that'll be
Fantastic.
really great. And I really do encourage guests to our town to come out and visit our local breweries as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you'll have plenty of time because the show gets done,
Yep.
we'll say at 5. So you can go out, grab a bite to eat in the evening as well and enjoy some of our local grub and food.
Yep.
That'll be perfect. And, make a whole weekend out of it. I'm
For
just
sure.
going to throw this in. If you go to the air show one day and you don't feel like doing it a second day, take in the horse racing.
Yep, that's
Bet on
happening
them
that weekend
ponies.
too.
It's not going to be dull in Great Falls for
No.
probably the next
No.
4 weeks.
No, there's a lot happening.
There is a
in
lot happening.
July and August.
And it's great that it's all coming together at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. So you had talking points. We want to make sure we don't come prepared.
You asked if you could bring a dog.
Oh, yeah, I did ask. Thank you for reminding. Can you bring a dog? No.
Good question.
Discouraged.
Service animals, we're never going to deny somebody that has a registered service animal. If obviously we have a number of disabled veterans in town. Those are case by case basis, and I'll take that back and I'll send you some information on that. Maybe we can
Okay.
get it out in a further. To be honest with you, it is really not a good idea to bring pets to an air show. It is ridiculously loud. And that asphalt is
Hot.
It is hot.
I was just thinking
And
that
care-
burned paws, scared dogs.
Care for
Yeah.
a dog is going to be very difficult. Okay. So, and then obviously around, the food, the food licensures and things like that,
Sure.
there's an issue with that. But the answer I will give you right now is that we'll have to take it in a case by case situation.
For service animals.
Yeah. Service animals. Correct.
One of my pet peeves, and I don't think I have ever mentioned this on air, is you're with a lot of people, a lot of diverse backgrounds, a lot of different people behave differently than I do, which is fine. What about smoking? Cigarettes, not weed.
Yeah.
We already established weed's not there. Is smoking allowed, or is that discouraged?
No, it's a great question. We will have areas that folks can go. Obviously, if you're smoking near an airplane, we're going to ask you to
Right,
move.
right.
That's just
That's
really
a bad plan.
And I would hope that if you were smoking in public, and again, you're probably elbow to elbow in some areas. If you're trying to wait in line to get on the KC-46 and check that out, or the F-35s, we'd ask you not to do that
Have some
just because you're in close.
self-awareness.
Have some self-awareness. Show them some of that Montana hospitality there. But we are going to have some areas that are kind of folks can go and get out of the way. And have that out. So there will be places that folks, if they need to get a cigarette, they can go do that.
Thank goodness. And I'll be around to help remind you that those areas exist.
She'll be standing there double fisting her
No need to
specialty.
smoke
Her
here.
515
Mustang,
blonde.
yes.
Yeah, Mustang blonde 515. Yes, exactly.
Double fisting, telling you where to go with
Yep.
your dogs and your smoking.
I will
Yeah.
be clearly identifiable out of
her
that
just a
sea of
safety
100,000 people.
Well, I don't think we'll have 100,000 each day. I think we're going to probably have between
Total.
30 and 50,
Yeah.
probably 30, 35 each day. It's that you don't know. I mean, there's still a large portion of the population that's still very concerned about COVID.
Yep.
And we haven't talked
being in
about the
groups.
COVID word yet.
Yeah.
So, the great news is the event is outside. One, the wind will be blowing. That's two. So positive ventilation everywhere you go.
There you go.
I
See,
actually encourage
another
people
positive.
if you want to wear a mask, please wear a mask.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's a good thing. We have hand sanitizer everywhere. So that's you'll be able to sanitize your hands before you scratch your nose or put your hands over your ears because it's so dang loud. That kind of
Should
stuff.
we bring earplugs?
I would encourage people to bring some earplugs. We should. We may have some available. We're working on that right now, trying to get those isolated and on board here. But probably not going to be enough for everybody.
Right.
So, but I would. So yeah, if you want some personal protective issues.
Let me just throw out a sponsored comment.
I
If
don't know where we're
you
going.
don't have your own earplugs, may I suggest you stop at Shields and pick up a pair of decibels because
those are
they
good.
will, you can at home meld them into your ear. And I picked mine up for like $25, I think.
Okay.
My husband paid for custom earplugs for trap shooting. My decibels are better than
Nice.
his custom
Nice.
earplugs.
I'm sure he loves that.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd share that. Shields has them.
There you go.
Other places may too, but I'm just saying.
Yep.
Other things we should be aware of. Make sure you get your list done because we don't come prepared for stuff.
So for our listeners that are not in Great Falls, that are coming maybe from Helena or Bozeman or Butte or anything like that, or coming up the I-15 corridor from the south, your off-ramp will be in Ulm.
Oh, okay. That's very good
So
to
there
know.
will be some Montana Department of Transportation will have signage.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And they will be wanting you to get off in Ulm because anybody who's been across that overpass, going to the airport,
Yeah.
or going to Love's, or going to the Crystal Inn knows that overpass is a hot mess.
Yeah, it
And
is.
so in our
Look
efforts
at you
to
thinking in
right,
advance here.
I know,
Good job.
secret.
He is super prepared for
Yes,
this
he
thing.
is.
So, well, again,
jinx
this
him.
this is a team thing. This is a team thing. So, this was a recommendation, of Cascade County Sheriff's Office, Montana Highway Patrol, and MDT as well.
Really great idea.
And so that'll be southbound flow coming up the Ulm frontage road. So if you're coming from that direction, obviously, if you're going to come stay in our beautiful city and you're going to enjoy our goodwill and our hotels, please come to Great Falls.
Yeah.
And get set up and get established and then come up. But if you're just coming up for the day, just take the Ulm frontage road and follow the signs.
Yeah.
That's very good to know.
That's a really good idea. It's some things you don't remember because, well, I don't travel in from that direction. So.
No, not that far south. Yeah. Anything else on your list?
Not on my list, but I have
Okay.
I have a really funny story to share
Ooh.
that I've
I
been
like
dying to share with this group.
Oh,
So
excellent.
We're the perfect people
Yes.
to share this
Flashing
with.
back to the Class C section basketball, high school basketball tournament there at Great Falls High. Not
Okay.
the one at the Four Seasons, but at
Right.
Great Falls High. I'm sitting behind this family.
Districts.
Sitting behind this family from Winnett Grass Range.
Okay.
And we're playing Winnett Grass Range. And my boy played for the Centerville Miners at the time.
Okay.
And obviously, high school parents, being high school parents.
Gotta love the parents.
Just yelling and having a great time, being idiots. And
Just to help with your story, I'm a Class C basketball girl, so
that's it.
I
There you
completely
go.
understand.
There's
The whole
Class C,
thing's
gotta
there.
love Class C basketball.
oh my goodness.
So we're halfway through the game, and I'm talking to my wife at the time, and she asked me this question. I get a text, and it's about the open house. I'm trying to answer this question, and this family in front of me from Winnett turns around and says, "Are you with the open house?" I said, "Yes." Are you going to shank me because we're
Why?
playing right now?
Who's asking?
What are we doing here?
No.
And she goes, "Well, we've already got our hotel reservations. We're so excited. Who's coming?"
Oh.
All this kind of stuff, and it triggered off this. We forgot the second half of the basketball game, and all we ended up talking about was the open house, and they were relaying their experiences from 2017 and how they made sure, and they wanted to know, who was going to be there, what time were things going to open. Of course, this is February. March.
This was a while ago.
This is a while ago, but this was the energy that's out there in our community, and it just got me really amped up that the energy in our state is there.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see all the folks coming, and I'm super glad that that family is coming from Winnett and Grass Range area, and they're going to be our guests in our town for the week.
That's fantastic.
So not to brag, but I do know the boys basketball head coach for Winnett Grass Range. So
yeah,
it was the boys team. So.
It was.
She's still stuck on the basketball part of your
I
comment.
know, right? We went, hey, bright shiny object. What is it?
I got a little excited.
You did, yes,
He
yes.
starts talking about Class C basketball. I'm like, this is
my
going to be a
jam.
great story.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is true. It doesn't matter. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the geography of Montana, Great Falls to Winnett is about a 3-hour drive.
And a couple mountain ranges, I think. So
Yeah. I mean, it gets into the eastern part of Montana, but it's close-ish, but it is on that perimeter of, that's going to be a ways away. But it is across the state. People are excited about this.
Well, it's just such a cool experience to be here and see all those planes. And again, just to even be able to go on to the base and get to experience those things up close.
I'm going to say, and my brain might be faulty, but in 2017, I think I got an invitation. Like I parked.
You were among the select crowd.
I wasn't in the field, and I remember having a lanyard for something.
Sounded like you were special.
I used to be. Clearly not anymore.
Wow.
Actually, I
Getting
think I might have gotten.
I see where this is going. There's a whole lot of,
No, actually,
him
I
on
think
the
I got
spot.
it. I think I got it from one of the sponsors.
Oh.
They had given it to me because they had
So
extras.
you weren't actually special then either.
Well, you were special to the sponsor.
Yes. That's
Something-
good. Yeah,
something was
you're winning
there,
that.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Have we missed anything? We talked about dates, times, that it's free to show up. Don't bring your guns and weed. Leave your dog at home.
Be respectful. So let's just recap it. It's going to be July 23, 24. The program is from 11 to 3:30. You can stay until 5. Come early, stay late. Park in the field. Ride the NASCAR bus. Go through security. Be open to search. Leave your crap at home.
If you're coming from the south, you'll get off at Ulm.
In Ulm. Yes.
Did
But
we miss anything?
you'll already be in Great Falls. So
It's true. It really is, I guess, after a day out exploring in the sun, things like that, it's nice
It is
to
a
just
big day.
relax.
There's one last thing that we missed.
Okay.
Oh.
Medical. So we did a really unique thing in May, and we got together with Great Falls Emergency Services, Benefice Hospital Systems, Great Falls Clinic, Cascade County, EMS, the whole Marianne, the whole enchilada. And one thing that we always have to prepare for, but we hope we never have to do, and that is in the eventuality of an accident. And so we rehearsed a mass casualty event in May, where we actually rose it to the level where we exercised what's called EMS 1, which is the county's emergency response to a mass casualty disaster.
Okay.
So we exercised that. And so we stressed the hospital systems, we stressed the ambulance systems, we stressed the emergency operations center and their alternate location. and we stressed our medical providers in the 120th and the 341st medical groups.
Wow.
And I'll be happy to say and proud to say that we broke it.
Awesome.
And so it was so successful that we broke it and we revised it and we made adjustments. And so everybody we're ready. And even beyond that is we are going to have providers from Benefice and Great Falls Health or Great Falls Clinic and Alluvian up there ready to treat if people have sunstroke, if they have heat issues, if they fall down and bang their head or whatever reasons. We will have providers up there.
And our community can be proud that that's something we've practiced.
Exactly.
Perfected.
Because the chances aren't big. Like, there's not a large percentage that, and I'll say it, a plane performing crashes into the entire crowd. That's not likely to happen.
Very unlikely.
But, 1% is still a chance.
Right.
Yeah, it's a thing that you want to prepare for, but you never want to have to use.
Yep.
And I will tell you with great confidence that this community at large, is ready and on board with get this done and protect our community and our people that are going to go.
Excellent.
Well, Cody, thanks for making this an enjoyable Friday morning.
You went conversational.
I'm out of coffee. Are we done yet?
Yeah.
He said I could call him Cody. Now, I'm going to just say, if Maudie was here, she'd probably be kicking me under the table because she is a veteran and a little bit more formal than I was. And I would always take my lead from her. But since we're both not experts on this.
I already took the dive and threw off the title there. Yeah.
Well, I do appreciate that. Thank you. But also anytime.
Yeah,
always.
It's been a blast, and I've had so much fun. I'm so excited for the air show. Flight Over the Falls. Been the highlight since it's been announced for me. I think the first I learned about it was December, January timeframe.
That's when we initially released it.
Yeah, so I am stoked. And my plan is the next time Flight Over the Falls happens, I'm getting one of them passes. I'm going to get an invite.
You're going to be
so I'm going to elevate my status as a leader in this community. That is my goal for the next time.
Sole purpose. We like it.
So thanks for spending your Friday morning with us. And you want more information? It's already on our website. Visit greatfallsmontana.org.
And we'll be talking more with Lieutenant Colonel Smith on our social media channels as well. You can check it out there.
So we're going to get that flooded. We hope to see you soon here in Great Falls. But until we do, we hope you're having an amazing time with your friends and family wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.